Namo Phat. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. For our Dharma lesson this morning, we're ready for a section on the refuges from Ajahn Thiradhammo's book, Working with the Five Hindrances. The formula for undertaking the precepts begins with the affirmation of going for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the three refuges. For most Buddhists, this is understood as looking to the historical Buddha, his teaching, and the contemporary monastic Sangha as their spiritual guide or example. The main purpose is to have some noble image or quality which is beyond oneself, by which one can be guided or which one takes as an ideal to emulate. Particularly in meditation practice, where much time is spent on inner work, there is a danger of becoming too self-absorbed, and when difficulties arise, we only have ourselves to turn to. Although the Buddha did very much emphasize the need for us to do the work ourselves, he also pointed out this value of spiritual friends and external support. Thus, having some noble principle to refer to can help to lighten the burden of carrying on. Sitting in meditation, observing your own hindrances for hours each day, can end up being quite depressing. However, to acknowledge that the Buddha himself faced similar, if not worse, challenges may help us to get a better perspective on our own problems. Sometimes, when our mind is pulled down by negativity, just to acknowledge that the truth of Dharma is always present could provide us with a little bit more patience to allow the negativity to pass away. And although we are each doing our own practice, it can be useful to recognize that there is a community of spiritual practitioners, the Sangha, who are also engaged in practice, even though we may not see them. We are not in this alone, but are part of the history of 2,600 years of spiritual struggle. For people unfamiliar with Buddhist culture, it can perhaps be helpful to envision the refuges as wisdom, truth, and commitment, or use whatever is helpful for inspiration, encouragement, or as a helpful guide. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.